This my accountability partner. This shit keep a nigga on his toe. For a long time, I lived life on my own. And it's so easy to fall back on stuff, not pay attention to yourself and what it is that you're doing if you don't have anybody else watching. I think that one of the most underrated ways of personally developing or personal development is documentation. I talk about this shit often, but I can't emphasize it enough. Y'all motherfuckers need to understand that something's going on in your life, whether it's good or bad, forward or backwards, something's always happening right now. Something's always happening. There's no such thing as stagnation. You're either moving forward or backward. And at some point you need to ask yourself, where am I? How much progress have I made? Why I say that this is the most underrated ways of personally developing is because, bro, the only time some people care about you is when they making money off you. And a lot of times, that is not in alignment with what you want. And a lot of times, if they're making money off you, you ain't making a lot of money. It's rare for somebody to actually collab with motherfuckers that are not as smart as them, or if they need to help them and bring them up, it's hard for them to collab with somebody to where y'all both are making the bag. Usually you're used as a pawn, if you will, or someone to help with minuscule task, I believe the word is, just little stuff that needs to be done, which is cool if you go into it with that mentality. It's like, yo, I can use this for myself for long term. But you need to figure this shit out, guys. I'm just keeping it a stack. You're gonna have to figure this shit out. But if you don't figure it out, somebody else will. And it's a great thing to personally develop and document yourself, because you get to go back and see where your mindset is or where it was. And it's a great way to see if you have made progress or not, if you're going backward. And then you could also go back and evaluate where your mindset is. You could go back and say, you know what? My mind ain't really where it needs to be right now. Everything is changing, guys. You need to realize that shit. You need to put yourself in a position of growth. How do you do it? It's by documenting yourself, by documenting the progress that you made or lack thereof. Start evaluating where your mentality is. Start evaluating where your energy is. You got to look at this stuff, man. Just like you watch your phone every day, just like you pick it up, just like you check your bank account, you need to check where your fucking attitude is every day, where your mindset is, where your energy is. And it doesn't cost you anything to hit record. A lot of us, if we were I look at it like this, guys. We gotta equal or greater the amount of watch time that we have to the amount of documenting hours that we have. What am I talking about? It's like a lot of us, let's say for example, we have 50,000 watch hours on YouTube. And just as easily, we could actually sit here and create 50,000 hours worth of content. And I give a shout out to content creators that are in the reaction space for many reasons. It's because they're thinking ahead. They're like, okay, I'm doing this anyway, right? I'm already wasting my time. If they've already acknowledged the fact that they're wasting their time by just watching YouTube all day and all this shit, they've acknowledged it and they said, how can I monetize it? And they started recording their internet sessions. That's smart. At some point, they're probably gonna grow to the fact that they're gonna grow to a point where they don't want nothing to do with other people's lives in terms of reacting. Or maybe they may, because it's forever, who knows? But the point is that they at least chose to monetize it. So if you are gonna scroll on your phone, if you're gonna scroll, at least monetize the shit, record it, and get your perspective out there, because you matter. You gotta do it, guys. I try to record everything in my life for multiple reasons. A, because I wanna see where I'm at. B, if I don't record it, I look at everything as a waste of time. Because now everything to me is I wanna somehow get a return on the shit that I've done. And so far, most of my activities are time wasters. So I said, how could I turn my time waster into an opportunity? And that's where recording comes into place. For real. So like right here, I'm driving to work. Ain't nothing gonna ever come from this shit. But if I record, it creates an opportunity. For example, if you're looking for ways to make money on the internet, hit one of the links below. You're gonna need a VA. If you wanna delegate some tasks, you're gonna need to learn. You're gonna need to understand the process on how it is that people make money online. It's not just hit a button, money comes through. You gotta understand the process, and by understanding the process, I mean educate yourself. Hit the link below on how to make that money online. See, I try to utilize everything in my life as an opportunity. It's like one of the old saying is like, always be closing. You gotta have and look, I'm still transitioning to this shit too. You know what I'm saying? But you could have a regular ass conversation and then just make sure that you pitch something at the end of it. Or you could take the approach of educating about that specific space. You don't gotta be so linear. You don't gotta be so closed-minded. What you need is people's attention. That's all you need, is people's attention. And it's gonna take some time for you to amass people's attention. But I think that one of the most successful ways, the most effective ways to grasp people's attention is by, one of the best ways to grasp people's attention is by knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you can't by being a phony, because there's a lot of that shit happening. But in this internet space, you got to find a way to differentiate yourself. And look, a lot of people don't take action based off the lack of results that they have in their life. What I mean by lack of results is like they don't have the lifestyle, they don't have the cool clothes, and all this shit that essentially grabs people's attention. Straight up. A lot of people, they hold themselves back, including me. I've been a part of that shit, you know what I'm saying? But I made a decision years ago that I'm like, bro, what people think of you do not fucking matter, bro. I had this dude recently recommend I cut my hair. And I listened between the lines. I think that's what it said. I think that's how it said. Is I listened between the lines. And the funny thing is, I kept listening, and he ended up telling me, he's like, this is the only cut that I could get. You know, I have bald spots and stuff. So here's a random person telling me to cut my hair, yet they can't even grow a full fucking head hair on their head. Now listen, you know, I'm not argumentative about shit like that. I'm not gonna sit here and defend some stupid shit like that and create a big situation over a hair. It's like, for me, I look at it like this. It's like, there's so many things in this world that a man could fucking focus on. The last thing that person needs to be focused on is my hair. The last thing that the individual should be thinking about is like, you should do. And there's always men that come up to me and try to recommend I do this shit. And like, bro, why? What difference does it make in your life? You know what I'm saying? There's always like somebody, well, there was two people. Somebody that was training me was teaching me how to tow. And then there was somebody that was in upper management when I drove 18-wheelers over the road. But I'm not there right now. So imagine if I would have took their advice. Just imagine if I would have took their advice. It would have meant nothing. They would have never known me right now. We're not even real friends. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to pay attention to who you listen to. And this is a small example, but this shit happens on all levels. It happens with people advising you to take a specific career path. And we take that advice because a lot of times people that give advice, they're a little bit above you, but they're not necessarily where you want to be. And sometimes, I gotta be careful when I say above you, because above you, what does that really mean? Just making $3-4 more than you an hour? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have maybe 4-6 months, a little more experience than you, and they know how to walk a little more confident because they don't have to ask questions. You gotta really evaluate shit, bro. For real, you gotta really evaluate shit, because niggas don't really give a fuck about you, dog. There's a few people in this world that really give a fuck. But it's gonna be real tough to find that shit if you don't give a fuck about yourself. I'm gonna say that again, man. There's a few people that actually give a fuck about you. It's gonna be real tough to find that shit if you don't give a fuck about yourself. So with that, I encourage you guys to keep pushing, keep developing. Hit the link below for multiple reasons. If you're looking to delegate, if you're looking for a virtual assistant, you could pay a fraction of the cost in the Philippines to the point where you could actually pay them a little more just because you got a heart on your, at least I did, bro. I was like, man, these people, I could get him to do X, Y, Z for this amount, bro. Here's a tip, bro. Thank you. You know, tip your VAs, man. They work really well. They communicate extremely effective. It's just beautiful. I ain't gonna front. Way better than some entitled American. For real, man. It was a blessing. But even then, man, delegate. You can delegate tasks. You could learn how to start generating some income online as well. Start learning how to cash flow. Start generating an extra side income. Whatever you're looking for, the description section should have something for you. There's a couple other things. I forgot what they were though. You can go. It was a virtual assistant. It was how can I forget? Network. You need to get in a good network. You need to get in a good network. If you're not a part of a good network, you're missing out. You need good friends. Get yourself connected with some good friends. CEO Network. Straight fire. Keep growing, keep developing. Remember this shit non-stop. I believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, shit don't matter. Nobody else will. I forgot what the other link was for. Just go ahead and discover what it is. And if you need it, hit it. Purchase something, buy something. Let's go. Get some coffee from McDonald's now.